Hello, kids. I hope you all are doing well and studying properly. So, today in this video, we are going to understand chapter 6 of your English literature reader book. The chapter's name is Wrecked on a Desert Island, which is written by Daniel Defoe. Now, let us understand about the author. Daniel Defoe was an English novelist, journalist, and pamphleteer. Defoe was a prolific and a versatile writer, producing more than 300 works, including books, journals, pamphlets, etc. His most famous novel is The Adventures of Robinson Crusoe. This chapter, Wrecked on a Desert Island, is adapted and abridged from the novel The Adventures of Robinson Crusoe. The classic story of Robinson Crusoe is about a man who is dragged to a desert island after a shipwreck. Now, before I start with the summary of the chapter, let us first understand the word meanings given in the book. The first word is wrecked, which means badly damaged. The next word is desert, which means having no people or things in it. The next word is stern, which means the rearmost part of a ship or a boat. The next word is rudder, which means a flat piece attached near the stern used to steer. The next word is mate, which means an officer on a merchant ship. The next word is vessel, which means here as ship. The next word is leagues, which means an archaic measure of distance of land. The next word is astern, which means behind or towards the rear of a ship. The next word is pilot, which means to steer oneself. The next word is furlong, which means a measure of distance. The next word is froth, which means foam. The next word is comrades, which means fellow friends. The next word is possessions, which means belongings. Now, with this, I am sure you have understood the difficult words, and now understanding of the chapter will be easy for you all. So, let us start with the summary of the chapter. Robinson Crusoe is a classic story in English literature written by Daniel Defoe. This chapter for grade 5 is an excerpt adapted from the main story. Wrecked on a Desert Island is a story of a young man who desired to go for a sea voyage like his elder brothers instead of becoming a lawyer in England. He ran away from his home with his friend. He boarded a ship that was going to Guyana from Brazil. Unfortunately, due to rough waters, the ship was wrecked. Robinson Crusoe and his fellow sailors ran to the close quarters to shelter themselves from the froth and the spray of the sea. They were afraid that they would drown. There were 11 men on the ship. To save themselves from the breaking ship, they got hold of the second boat and swung it over the ship's side. Then they rowed as hard as they could, aiming towards the land. The men in the boat found it almost impossible to row the boat because the waves were very high and there were no way to make sail. But they still carried on with their mission because the only other alternative was to drown. They all struggled hard. Robinson Crusoe was thrown to land 4 times, but he managed to save himself by holding on tightly to a piece of rock. When the waves subsided, he ran to the mainland. He clambered up the cliffs of the shore and sat on the grass away from the water's reach. Robinson Crusoe was the only survivor in the ship. After he managed to make it to a shore of an island, he realized that the island was not inhabited by any human. He did not have any dry clothes or anything to eat or drink. He was afraid that he would either die of hunger or be eaten by the wild beast. He had no weapon to hunt or kill an animal and had only 3 possessions. In preparation for the night, he climbed up a tree and placed himself so that he would not fall while asleep. He also cut himself a short stick like a club for defense. After being extremely fatigued, he fell fast asleep. All through his stay at the deserted island, he showed great strength of his character and presence of mind. His remarkable perseverance took him through 28 years of isolation on the island. Wasn't it a very interesting and a very, very inspiring story? Yes, children? So here we end up, and thank you so much, students. Take care. Bye bye.